Most people don't realize how much of their lives they've handed over to their phones, to algorithms, to dopamine. You think you've lost motivation, but what you've really lost is your ability to focus long enough to feel motivated. And it's not because you're weak, it's because your environment is training your brain to crave distraction every 3 seconds. Every notification, every scroll, every quick check that turns into 45 minutes. That's not random, it's design. And it's the exact opposite of what your nervous system evolved for. The dopamine system was never designed for constant novelty. It's not about chasing everything that feels good. It's about pursuing one thing that matters. When you're learning something difficult, when you're training, creating, building, your brain rewards you not for the end result, but for the effort itself. That's why people who chase meaning feel alive, and people who chase stimulation feel numb. See, when you check your phone 50 times a day, you're telling your brain, I don't earn dopamine anymore. I just collect it. And the brain learns fast. It starts expecting reward before you've earned it. That's when discipline collapses. That's when focus disappears. If you want to regain control of your life, it starts with a simple question. What am I teaching my brain to value? Because neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire, is happening all the time. Every click, every thought, every habit, every glance at your screen, you're literally sculpting your neural pathways. If you constantly seek stimulation, your baseline of pleasure rises. Simple things stop satisfying you. But if you deliberately sit in boredom, if you delay gratification, if you focus on one thing, your brain starts to recalibrate. That's not a metaphor. That's a measurable, physical rewiring. Neurons that fire together wire together. You can teach your brain to find joy and focus again. You just have to stop feeding it junk dopamine. Here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. You need less noise. The first 90 minutes of your day decide the next 12 hours of your neurochemistry. That's when your brain is most malleable, most teachable. So if the first thing you do is open your phone, you're teaching your brain chaos. You're wiring it for reactivity. But if you wake up and move your body, if you write, create, think, breathe before you consume anything, you're telling your nervous system, this is what matters. That single change, controlling your dopamine in the morning, can reset your entire life. We often think peace comes from doing less, but peace actually comes from doing what matters most, with full attention. That's why meditation works, not because it's mystical, but because it's neurological training for presence. 10 minutes of stillness each day is not spiritual fluff. It's a recalibration of your entire dopamine system. When you practice presence, you lower your baseline of stimulation, and suddenly life feels rich again, not because it changed, but because you did. Most people are overstimulated but undernourished. They have all the tools, all the information, all the access, but they can't feel the reward anymore. The cure isn't to chase more, it's to feel deeper, to actually notice the process again, the breath, the effort, the progress. That's how you retrain your dopamine system. You don't need a new app. You need attention. You need to be here. When I say rewire your brain, what I really mean is change what you give your attention to. Attention is the currency of the nervous system. Where it goes, your energy flows. Where it stays, your life grows. Every time you choose to stay focused, to stay uncomfortable, to stay bored, you're building stronger neural circuits for resilience. And every time you escape into stimulation, you're weakening them. Your brain is like a muscle. You can train it for strength or train it for distraction, but either way, it's training. The modern world is not slowing down, and that's okay, because the goal isn't to escape the noise, it's to stop letting it own you. You can't control how fast the world moves, but you can control your inputs. You can control your breath. You can control what you look at, what you listen to, what you focus on. That's where freedom begins. Not in deleting the apps, not in moving to a cabin in the woods, but in mastering your nervous system right here, in the chaos. The truth is, your brain doesn't want comfort. It wants meaning. And meaning is built through effort, not ease. Every rep in the gym, every hard conversation, every hour of deep work, Those are the moments your brain learns, this is who I am. That's the real reward system. Not likes, not clicks, not validation, but the quiet, steady signal that says, I showed up. So if you want to rewire your brain, start small. Wake up and move your body before you move your phone. Focus for 60 minutes without checking anything. End your day with silence, not stimulation. Do that for 30 days and watch what happens. You'll feel your mind sharpen, your anxiety lower, your motivation return, because you'll finally remember what it feels like to earn your dopamine again. You can't control everything in your life, but you can control where you place your focus. And if you can do that, you can control your entire future.